Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Bill, and I would like to briefly go over our canvassing department, how it works, and what you can expect. First of all, a little background on myself. I am a professional canvasser. I have been knocking doors for years in several different industries. I have knocked doors from lawn care to storm restoration, obviously, to good old-fashioned home improvements, windows, patio additions, even swimming pools. And what I've did is I have put together a marketing campaign that has basically I've taken a little bit of what works for each different industry and combined them into one program here that's going to really allow you to achieve some results. You're going to be able to work just as hard as the other guys out there and be able to set literally twice as many appointments. Our pay program offers a guaranteed how do you want to put it? A guaranteed rate. You're going to be we're going to guarantee you money every day you go out there, whether you set an appointment or not. And we're also going to give you a lead bonus based on the appointments you set. So we're gonna have you do a couple things for the guaranteed rate. The couple things we're gonna ask you to do is we're gonna ask you to complete surveys. It's really simple. As you walk up to the property, you're gonna fill out 4 or 5 things about the property, and for each homeowner that you talk to, we're gonna ask you to try to get a phone number. Um, you'll be surprised. A lot of people are more susceptible to giving you a phone number than talking to you at their front door. For them, it's a quick way to get you out of here. It keeps them from having to tell you no. You ask for the phone number, they just rattle it off, and you're on to the next house. So make sure you get the phone number. The final thing we're going to ask you to do is we're going to ask you to set some appointments. And we're going to give you the tools to manage your day. One of the things I noticed in canvassing right off the bat, working in the hurricanes in Florida, people get out there and they wing it. They're running around these neighborhoods. They're chasing open doors. They're chasing people walking from their cars, and they maybe they work for 6 hours, but what they do is they don't contact every house in the neighborhood. They contact what appears to them to be the easiest person to contact. They may grab a little bit of business. There's a reason people knock doors. It works, but what they're missing is they're missing the fact that there may only be, let's say, 400 houses in this subdivision that are damaged. They may only contact 20 or 30 of those people. They may only get 1 or 2 jobs out of the people they did contact. What our marketing department's going to do is we're going to maximize the potential business inside the allotted area of damage. We're going to do that by assigning you 150 to 200 lead sheets on a daily basis. What a lead sheet is basically a quick survey. A quick survey is going to be just some simple things you're going to fill out about the house as you walk up. Not a lot of work. It's just circle and check, circle and check. I'm going to quickly here show you the quick survey. The quick survey is going to be provided to you the homeowner's name, the address, the city. Sometimes we're going to have a contact. For instance, if it is a rental property, we're going to have the owner of the property listed right here, and then we're going to have the rental contact for you. We're going to have a phone number if available. We're going to ask you to then ask the homeowner for their best contact phone number. So you're out there, you talk to the homeowner, you ask for the phone number, they give it to you. We want you to write it down. If they tell you no in the phone number, shoot for their email address. That's important. We're going to do a lot of email campaigns. I mean, that's just a wave of the future. We're going to hit them electronically if we can. The second thing on the sheet is the appointment information. One thing that separates us from most people out there, we're going to set same day appointments. That's going to be our main priority. If you knock on the door and they say, great, I would love to have you come out and inspect my property. Fantastic, Mr. Homeowner. We can be out here within 2 hours. You're going to simply check 2 hours from right there. You're going to check that box. Get my little color thing. You're going to check that box right there. Let's say it's 1 o'clock. This is the time you're knocking. 2 hours from 1 o'clock. Maybe they want you to come out during an exact time. By all means, set the appointment up for the exact time if that's going to benefit the homeowner. Okay, the next thing is we're going to want to get the number of stories the property has. Is it a 1-story home? Is it a 2-story home? The reason we want to know this information is it's going to help me assign the proper property manager to the inspection. Some of our inspectors only have a car. They run around with a fold-up ladder and they're not able to get on a 2-story property. So what we don't want to do is we don't even want to make this appointment available to them. We're only going to make 1-story appointments available to the guys that can work the 1-stories. Vice versa, only the property managers that have a truck and have the ability to get on a 2-story property, we're going to want to make sure they get access to the 2-story appointments. The next information we're going to want to get is we're going to want to get the pitch of the roof. Since we know you're new to the business and you probably don't understand the term 412, 712, or 1012, we gave you a little picture here to make reference. If the roof most looks like this, then it would be a 412. Same thing for 712 or 1012. Some other information we want to get is the type of siding. Is it going to be vinyl, aluminum, wood, or other? Other would typically be like a brick or stucco home. We didn't list that in the selections because honestly, they're not typically damaged by wind or hail. So we don't really care about the brick and stucco siding. We're going to want to get the condition of the property. The condition of the property is very key. It basically goes from a 1 to 5 selection. 1 is going to be poor condition. Just totally looks bad. 5 is going to be immaculate condition. It looks like it's brand new, can't see anything wrong with it. Then we're going to want to fill out some notes. If you notice some dents or dings in the siding, make a note of it. The same thing with the roof, the same thing with the gutters. If you notice problems, write it down. Same thing with trees. If you notice they have trees blown down in their front yard, write it down. Hey, they got multiple trees blown down in front yard. The last little bit of information we're going to ask you to get is going to be the time that you're out there. This is key. You're thinking, why does it matter what time we knocked on the door? It matters from the inside sales perspective. When we go back to make phone calls to these homeowners, we're going to want to contact as many people as possible, and we're going to be able to do that by targeting when they're home. For instance, if you knocked on the door Monday at 1 o'clock and they answered the door, and 3 weeks from now, it's raining on Monday, we're going to want to first of all call the people that are home on Monday. And we're going to want to call the people that are home at 1 o'clock first. So we're going to be able to organize our calling list based on when people are available. So it's key to get this information. Okay, so this is the quick survey. I've gone a little bit fast with this. You're going to get a chance to get really intimate with it, but for right now, I just wanted to give you a brief overview of what I'm talking about. It takes no time at all, guys, to fill out this information as you're walking up to the door. I promise you this much. It's going to come back to benefit you 20-fold when we get into the inside sales. Okay, we went over the quick surveys. The next thing we need to talk about is where we place the flyers on the door. When you get out in these neighborhoods, you're going to be issued a route. Every one of these homeowners, you're going to have a lead sheet on. You're filling out your quick surveys. You're going to have to basically take your 6 hours and make it last throughout all these houses. This is where you're going to be working. You're not going to be free to go up the road here. Okay, that's not available. That's going to be somebody else's route. So you're going to have to work within, inside these houses. With that said, you're going to have to kind of target when people come home and who's home right now. We're going to do that by placing the flyers high up on the door so we can quickly see when people come home. Just kind of a brief explanation of how you're going to do it. You start your day, you knock on the first house. Right there, your first house. This person is not home. You're going to take and place your flyer high up on the door. Then you're going to walk to the next property. Maybe this person right here, maybe they're home. You're going to pitch them. You're going to ask for the phone number. You're going to attempt to set an appointment. You're going to go on to the next property. Maybe they're not home. You're going to place a flyer. The reason you're placing these flyers is so when you walk back through, after you made your first round, after you walk back through, you'll be able to look and see. If this flyer is missing, that most likely means that the homeowners came home. They have arrived. They've gotten off work. They've went in their front door. They've grabbed your flyer. They've looked at it, and they probably shoved it in the trash or stuck it in the cabinet or something like that. So you're going to go back to the door. You're going to knock on it. You're going to introduce yourself. You're going to let them know, hey, I dropped a flyer off for you. We're out in the neighborhood today, and we're talking about storm damage. And you're going to be able to start your pitch. It's going to help you target the people as they start to arrive home during your workday. This is very key to managing your route because you're only going to have, again, 150 to 200 houses every day that you're going to be knocking on. So rather than knocking on every door over and over again, you're going to have to keep track of who's home and who's not home. And through a combination of the flyers and your surveys, you'll be able to keep track of your neighborhood. I know we went over that really fast. You're probably going, wow, what is he talking about? I'm going to be out there with you. I'm going to show you firsthand how you do this, but I just want to give you a little bit of an idea. Okay, we went over same day appointments. You're going to have the ability to set next day, but you're going to have to give me a reason why. If they say, hey, I have to go to work right now, but you can come out tomorrow at 3 o'clock, I'll be home. You need to write that in the notes, because if you don't put something in the notes telling me why it's set for the following day, I'm just going to call you up and ask you why. So, okay, at the end of the shift, we're going to allot time for you to fill out take your quick surveys and put them inside the CRM. This is so when we get into our inside sales, you'll have that information available and you'll quickly be able to have a conversation with the homeowners and make reference to what you've seen when you're out there door knocking. Don't worry, guys. We're going to pay you to put this information inside the system. This is not free. We are giving you a guaranteed daily rate, however you want to call it. You know, you are going to be paid to put this information inside the CRM, but this is going to come back to help you 20-fold. Let's get into our inside sales program briefly here before we end this video, because this is the first of a series of videos, but due to time constraints with YouTube, you know, we can't make them too long, otherwise they won't let me upload it. Anyway, inside sales. We're going to take our surveys and we're going to make a phone call and we're going to call the homeowner and we're going to describe their property in detail to them. We're going to make reference to the damage we've seen firsthand. And we're going to do that through a very unique dialer. I personally built this dialer. It incorporates Google Earth inside the actual dialing apparatus to allow you to visualize the house as you're making the call. So let's take a quick look at this dialer. Okay, let's go ahead and reload it. Okay, first of all, we're going to call Gehenna. We're going to type in Gehenna. We're going to do a 10-mile radius search, and we're going to pull up 25 results. We're going to search. Okay, here we go. Go ahead and zoom in here. We make our first call. It takes us directly to the property, and we hit the button, and it's going to initiate a phone call for us. Okay, from there, the homeowner, they answer the phone. We're going to take and we're going to look at the property. Oh, it took us to the wrong side of the street. As you see, we have a little green dot there. That tells us it's the property we're looking at. Okay, when Mr. Jackson answers the phone, we're going to be able to get into our pitch, and we're going to be able to describe the things, to be able to describe this property to him in depth. We're going to be able to make reference to the damage we saw and things we see on the Google Earth. For instance, we can make reference to his swimming pool in the back. Like, yeah, I know you're not thinking too much about it. I know it's still a little bit cold outside. You're probably more focused on getting that pool in the backyard set up, right? So you're going to be able to start conversational aspects that's going to allow him to warm up to you and set the appointments. Guys, this is going to be invaluable information. As we get into our inside sales days, I want to be right there beside you. I'm going to help you start conversations. I'm going to help you describe properties. And it's going to give you a competitive advantage that you're going to find really set some appointments. With that said, we're going to have a combination, canvassing and inside sales. When we're out there, we're going to be filling out our surveys. Those are going to set us up for the days we work inside. We're going to be setting appointments out there in the streets. What you'll find is, again, people are going to be home sometimes during canvassing hours. Sometimes they're going to be home not during canvassing hours. For instance, you know, when we get started before that daylight savings time hits, we're going to have a lot of times where we cannot be out there past 5:30. But some of these homeowners aren't getting home until 6. So we're going to want to be able to give them a call on the phone, and we're going to be able to reflect back on what we've seen out there. Okay, so that's just a brief overview of what our canvassing department is. The next video is going to kind of get in depth. I'm going to go over exactly what you're going to be doing when you're knocking doors. We're going to be going over some common objections. We're going to be going over some pitches, some things that you can do. We're going to go over your body manner, how you stand at the front door, how you make people feel comfortable. We're going to be going over a lot of really valuable information in the next video. So by all means, please go to the next video, and we'll kind of get into what you can do out there at the door when you're standing in front of the house and you're getting ready to talk to somebody. Okay, thanks a lot, and good luck out there knocking.